Alright, Alchemist here. So I'm going to try to keep this quick and simple and explain why I call it a near Perma-Stun. Two reasons. One, it's a proc chance. Sometimes you don't get the proc and there's a second or two where the mob can move. Sometimes they can get damage and hit you if you're too close or they cast something. So there's that. And the second thing is you can't use it on bosses because bosses can't be CC'd. Freeze, immobilize, stun, fierce, they don't work on bosses. So, in order to make this work, you need two things. First thing, go back here. Here we go. Inventory. Alright. You need to have something with shock chance on it. Now, it doesn't have to be your main weapon. It can be on a focus. You could put on the focus as an enchant like I did this. I used to have an item that had physical mace, but I put shock chance on this and it works just fine. You don't have to have electric, it just helps it out. You don't have to have added projectiles, that just maximizes the build a little better. It makes it proc more often, which is good. The second thing you need is to have the relic electrode. And once you get to level 10, you can start using this. What this does is every time you hit a mob, it has a chance to bring down a lightning strike. And it'll do 100% weapon damage, which is also great. But in order to make this stun, you need to put at least 1 point into this. Fried. I put 5 points just to get a little bit of duration. I might max it out to 10 when I get more points or level up a little more. But you want to put at least 1 point into this. My suggestion for you is to not put any points in here until you get to level 10. Put 1 point here, 9 points there. Or 2 points here, 8 points there. Whatever. But you don't need to put any points in here. It's to get to this tier, you just need to get to level 10. You can start doing stuff. Level 15, start doing here. I don't really like this that much because this isn't a damage. I don't use this for damage. I use this to stun. So I did to put 10 points in here, 5 in here for right now. Max this out because you want to use this often as well because it has a built-in 25% stun chance and it shoots out 2 bolts. It'll go out in like a little V pattern away from you. But if you set it up right, especially like along a wall, you can actually have it go in a straight line and both bolts will hit something and they both have a 20% chance to stun. More stuns is great. It has a chance to put shock, and every time you hit it, you have a chance to shock and have this stun, 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 stun. That's great. That's the whole point of this style of gameplay. I put points in here, get more crit if you want. You can pop this if you want to give you more chance to electrify it as well, and you get the 5% damage buff as well. Lets you shock more often, which gets you the lightning strike, which stuns as well. But that's all you really need. You can do it for any class, any build. You just got to get Electroid to at least level 10 before you can start doing the AoE stuns. It doesn't have to be AoE. You can single target stun, but like I said, it does not work on bosses. So let's see if I can find. I think I found a small little group. I'll just give it a little test fire, show you what it looks like in actual gameplay. But yeah, like I said, it works for any class, any build. Just put it in there, and you can use it for sharpshooter. You can use it for forged. You can even use it for the rail master if you want. But the point of it too, it's more hits. The more hits you get, the more chances you have to get the lightning bolt, and then have the stuns. So you want something that hits often, fairly often. So is there anything around here? I want to find an elite pack. Oh, there's that dude, but he should be fine. So, cast that, get the stun off. Now he's stunned. You just got to keep it going. Stay out of the stuff. That even though they're stunned, they'll still do certain things too. So, and then he basically didn't move anywhere, and he pretty much died. Let's see if I find another group too, because you couldn't see. If you look above them, they'll have like a little star swirly thing. Depending upon how big the mob, it could be directly above them. It could be way above them. But these mobs don't have that, so you don't see it. So you just see them standing there. Let's try these ones over here. Yeah, because you can see it right there on that one. But I should probably use a weaker weapon so I have more chance to see it. But you saw the little stars, and that means that's a stun animation, so it can work for that. Let's destroy this. Here we go. Okay. But that's it in progress. Basically, you can group a bunch of mobs together, and they can basically stun each other because every time you hit something that's shocked, it sends out little bolts. Now, if you want to send out more of those little projectiles, you have to look for items that have projectile on them. I don't know if I got any of these that have that. I don't think I do. but you can get lucky and you can find one that has added projectiles, and what that'll do is every time you hit a shocked item or shocked creature of sort, it'll throw out more projectiles, and those more projectiles will hit things and they have a chance to bring down the lightning bolt and shock. So if you really want to maximize this build, there are two things that I've thought of that you can do. You can get more bolts, so every time you hit a shock it shoots out more projectiles, or you can do a one-handed and a focus and put shock on it. Like I said, you don't need to have electric weapon damage, but if you have an item that has shock and you have another one that has shock and it's a one-hand and a focus, that's like 60% chance to shock more often, and more chance to get shock on mobs equals more stuns equals less damage you take, so you can survive, you can kill things, loot, and move on. And that's pretty much it. You can use on any class, like I said earlier, and I'm gonna say it again, any class, any build, any style. Just works best if you can hit things fast and more often. That's when it works the best. But otherwise, have fun, go to town on it. Who knows, they may nerf it. They already nerfed the fire, like the fire sword. They nerfed that a little bit. It's not nerfed to the ground, but it's not as overly spammy as it was before. It was kind of as spammy as this one is with the lightning strike, so they might do the same thing with this. But until then, I say use it. Go to town. If you looked up in the top right hand corner, you can see I was in ridiculous. I've done this character from level 1 to now on ridiculous, so it works just fine. You don't have to do the lower level things. It's just, it all comes down to playstyle. Don't get hit, like, because honestly, don't get hit. I have no defenses, so if I actually get hit, it's either I'm almost dead or I am dead. So that's why this works good. Just don't get hit, stun things, pay attention to what you're doing, get out of fire, because even though they're stunned, they can still do certain things while they're stunned. They can do the sage where they drop the rocks on the ground. They can do neither well where they put the little purple thing that slows you down that does a little AoE damage on occasion. They can do that as well. So they also do their on death effects, as of course, because, well, it doesn't matter if you're stunned or not, they do that. You just got to be careful and pay attention to that. Now, you may be able to make this build better than me by going crazy. If you want, do it, make it better. Like, you don't even need any of these legendaries. Like I said, you just need, you can have a green weapon. Like, for a long time, I literally had like a green weapon that had shock on it. It worked just fine. So it doesn't really matter. You can do it starting basically from level 10, I guess, is a good way of saying it. But nevertheless, have fun, enjoy the build, go crazy with it. Hopefully it doesn't get nerfed. Hopefully it just gets a little tweaking to make it not quite as overly spammy. But I still like it. It's great. It's a good thing to do. Have fun. Go enjoy it. Till next time. See ya.